Hey guys, Carrie again. I'm back with my second video. Today I want to focus a little more on narcissistic abuse and how to transmute negative energy into positive energy, how to turn your power into pain. I want to focus on some tools that I use to help me to be an alchemist. I am basically a expert on narcissistic abuse because I attract them like bees to honey. And it's because of how I grew up and what I thought that I deserved. I was never really taught what I was worth. So I had to learn what I was worth all on my own and the hard way. And also about the dark night of the soul, because I mentioned that yesterday and I want you guys to do your own research. But dark night of the soul is a very important process as far as healing yourself and moving forward out of that dark place that you may have fallen into. So I'll start with transmuting energy. What I do when I feel negative energy or something bad has happened to me, or there's been a karmic attack, the devil will send agents. He works through people. I'm surrounded by people with demonic attachments right now. You can tell that there's no light in their eyes anymore. They are no longer the people that I once loved um, or thought that they loved me. It's been a charade. So when their mask starts to fall off and you see them for who they really are, it's not healthy to keep asking yourself why. All you can do is focus on yourself and changing yourself, dealing with that going forward. So when something bad happens to me or I'm attacked, I like to sing, I like to dance, I like to turn on music. That's my thing. I am all about music. I will completely lose myself in that world. I will find something upbeat and just dance, dance, dance. I'll sing. I'm a horrible singer, but I love to do it. And it really helps me to pop out of that mood and move forward. If someone has something negative to say about me, if it's something that I know that I didn't do, something that I don't need to apologize for, it's simply an attack on my character to make someone else feel good, I will go out in nature. I will turn that power into pain by just grounding myself. I meditate a lot, and that's something that I think everybody should do. Pray, meditate, connect with Source, whatever your higher power source may be. I call it God. Some people call it the Most High. Everybody has their own name for it, but I think most people, except for some atheists that I know or agnostics, they believe in a higher power of some sort. So meditate. All the answers are inside of you already. You just have to tap into that. We all have spiritual gifts. You just have to hone those spiritual gifts with meditation and connecting to Source. I do that daily. Sometimes I do it in my room where it's really quiet, and sometimes I'll do it outside listening to nature. And a lot of times the answers that you need will just come to you. And if they don't immediately, then pray for them, and eventually they will. When I entered this house, I could feel the negative energy immediately. And one thing that I started to do was sage. You cleanse your energy. Sage, I have a white sage, I have Palo Santo. I will sage my room sometimes twice daily. Sometimes I'll sage the house depending on who's been here. I have hand sanitizer that has Florida water in it. I know a lot of people have suggested this because Florida water is said to have healing powers. I have crystals. I have my bag of stones, which different stones are for different things. So if you research that, depending on what you're going through, you can find the right thing to help you in the situation that you're in. Another thing that I do is I journal. And when you're in a situation like this where you're being attacked and people don't believe you or call you crazy, write everything down. This book is full, 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 full. Let me open it up just a second. I have detailed every single day since I've been here with everything that has happened, everything that they have done to me. I save any notes that I have been written by friends, any cards that I was given by friends that were manipulative, trying to draw me back in to let me know that they were really my friends and they want nothing but the best for me, when really I had cut them off because they had exposed themselves and they were trying to get a foot back in the door by being nice again. But I'm a Libra, and I identify with the Queen of Swords, and we are very discerning, and our cutoff game is fierce. So as soon as I know that you're an op, you're done. As far as being close to me. Now, if you're an op that I'm not close to, I recognize you for who you are, who your associates are, and I'm not going to call you out or fight fire with fire. I'm just going to know you when I see you. That's a DMX quote that I'm not going to butcher, but he says, know them for who they are. And you're not going to change them. All you can do is change your reaction to them and how you move around them. Don't move like they do, but know them when you see them. Another thing I do is I write down my dreams. And before I show you my dream book, I just want to show you a little bit about when my mail started being stolen. I had requested a change of address here, and I was getting Informed Delivery, which Informed Delivery is a website that the Postal Service uses that shows you your mail ahead of time. And I lived in an apartment, so without going to the mail center every day, I would just look at my website and see if I had any mail coming. That way I knew not to waste a trip to the mailboxes if I wasn't getting anything. So I started realizing that I wasn't getting mail that I thought I should be getting, and so I changed my Informed Delivery to this address. And when I waited and waited and waited, they send you a PIN number when you do that and you move, so that to make sure that it's you that's requesting that, they send you a PIN number, and you have to go online and enter the PIN number. And my uncle has a shredder here. So I started looking through the shredder, and I don't know if you could see that, but it clearly says United Postal Service on it, and I realized that he had been intercepting my mail and shredding it. So I immediately started calling him out on this, and at that time, my mail just started being redirected because they realized that I was catching on to that game. So every day I wake up, I thank the Lord for waking me up, and in this situation, I say, give me guidance on what game we're going to play today, because every day is a new game. As soon as I catch on and get ahead of them, then we're on to the next game, because this is a win at all cost situation. These people don't want to go to jail. They don't want to be accountable for what they've done. So they have to come up with another game to try and trick me, another person to try and deceive me, another way to make me feel defeated or give up or kill myself, or another way to sneak something into my food. I don't eat anything that's left here. I carry a backpack every day when I leave with me that has my journal, which will eventually become a book, because this is a whole movie, folks. This is a whole movie. I carry my dream journal. Like I said, the Lord reveals my enemies in my dreams. So I write down every dream that I have in detail, whether it makes sense or not, because eventually something will happen and one of these things will become relevant, and I will have it right there to reference to. Before I moved in here, my uncle tried to talk me out of baking and my cake business. He said that I shouldn't follow my dreams, that I should just give that up and get a real job. My ex-husband has told me, or told my son to tell me many times, to just get a real job. They don't like that I have this talent, and it's not everything to me. It's just something that I do well, and it makes me feel good, and I see the reaction that people have to it, and it keeps me going. So they try to take that away from me. Anything that I get joy from or anything that people support, they'll try to take that away from you. That's a classic um, narcissistic tactic. They try to take your friends away, tell people bad things about you. They feed off of your positive energy. They are energy vampires. They'll try to get you to do things for them. They want to run you down. They want to take every bit of your positive energy and soak it in, because your light is a mirror to them. They see what you have worked hard to become, and they don't want to put in that work. They don't want to work hard to do what you've done, because if it were easy, everybody would be doing it. But it's hard. It's hard to go through the dark night of the soul. It's hard to put in that work to bring positive change to yourself. It's extremely hard, and it takes a long time. And a lot of people don't want to do that. So they take shortcuts to be greedy, and they're jealous, and they want to bring you down to their level so that they don't have to rise up and change. It's much easier to put their energy into bringing someone down or stealing something from someone, like their ideas, um, their energy, their self confidence, anything that they have that lifts them up. It's much easier, or they choose to put their energy into taking that from you rather than putting that energy into themselves, to making themselves a better person so that they could rise above like you. They could level up, they can ascend. There's levels to this stuff. It's all spirituality to me. Everything is energy. Everything is about energy. This table is energy. We are energy. Our thoughts are energy. Our words are energy. It all has power, and it's all transferable. Just like I'm talking about alchemy. Transfer that bad energy into something good. If it's negative, somebody says something bad to you, somebody tries to hurt you, do something good for yourself. Go buy yourself some flowers. Take a walk. Do something nice for yourself. Go get yourself a cup of coffee. Whatever it is, that it doesn't have to be big. Something very small. Especially if you don't have much money like me right now. It doesn't have to be big. Go pick some flowers. Go sit by the water. Do whatever it is that makes you feel good. Feed that back into yourself. Don't let them deplete you without filling your cup back up. That's very important. As far as trying to take my dreams away from me, when I moved in here, there was a whole plan for me that had been discussed behind my back, and it was starting to roll out to me. And they were saying, well, we think you should be here for 6 to 9 months until you get back on your feet and you get a job. And I was like, I have a job. I bake cakes and I have a big following. And so I moved in here in March, and this is my schedule book. And so, most of my stuff is on the weekends, and I was doing 11, 12, sometimes 13 or more things a week. And once they started infiltrating, and what I mean infiltrating is creating fake profiles, stealing my content, sending people to me to have cakes priced for another baker that's trying to compete with me, or trying to turn the other bakers in town against me because of my pricing. I will have nothing to do with that, but I'm completely aware of it. So now I'll skip to see some of my other weeks. I loaded with stuff. And now that everything has been infiltrated and people are trying to tear me down, I will skip to this week. And this is my schedule. This is my schedule now. So a lot of things have been affected there, because one moment it will be, this is the last week that you're making cakes here, and I can have you taken out of here in handcuffs at any time, which is how I know that dirty cops are involved, because why would you be able to do that when I haven't done anything wrong? So I know you're associated with dirty cops. I have a cousin that was put on desk duty, restricted to desk duty as a cop a few years ago for being found dishonest in court. And now, if you go to the Chattanooga website, he is one of the highest paid cops in the city. And how does that happen? There's connections involved, obviously. Um, Also, pay attention to the people around you. Let's say my family, who say they have not had anything to do with. I didn't know that you weren't, um, that you were adopted, but yet I have an aunt who had a GoFundMe set up for her 2 years ago, and now she has brand new teeth, and she goes on cruises all the time, and she has a brand new car. So, where does all this money come from? They've missed a few steps as far as concealing this. A lot of the customers that I know have been infiltrated. Um, Stopped ordering after they were being faithful customers, and all of a sudden they were going on nice trips. So they can't necessarily give these people money directly, but they have scratched their back in other ways. As far as my son was gifted a car, a neighbor that actually someone I went to school with that tried to date me ended up moving conveniently into the apartment directly underneath me, and he got a new car. A lot of the customers have gotten vacations. So, pay attention to things like that. Let's see, what else? As far as transmuting energy, a lot of things, other things that I will try and do is reconnect with your inner child, find things to do that I have a jump rope here. I used to really like to jump rope when I was a kid, so I will jump rope. Me and my son have hit up every playground in town, mainly to get out of this house, but to find things to do that will change the energy into something positive. It will make us happy. We will have time together. We spend time outside. We will go swimming at Chester Frost until, packs of people started showing up with the gangs talking, threatening. We overheard them talking about how they wanted to jump me, and I've waited until 3 o'clock in the projects for somebody before. As soon as she gets out of the water, I'm going to beat her ass, stuff like that. And I'm not afraid of that. I really just don't want my son to be exposed to it. So a lot of things that we like to do, they will put a stop to that real quick because I don't want him to be exposed, and I want him to have a good time when we go out and transmute our energy. Another thing you have to pay attention to is wounded people. Hurt people hurt people. And if they don't want to put in the work to change themselves, they will just continue to try and hurt other people the way that they were hurt. And I am a true generational curse breaker because that stops with me. I am fortunate to not remember most of the sexual abuse that I was in, or that happened to me. But the people that do remember, a lot of times, I went to school for psychology, so I almost have a psychology degree. I have like a semester that I didn't finish for my bachelor's, and I worked at a psych hospital. So I, as an empath, I constantly study other people's behavior. I will watch. When I was a really shy kid, I didn't talk to a lot of people until after my 20s when I moved to California, and I was forced to talk to other people because I didn't know my way around, or I was trying to learn about the new place that I was living in 2,000 miles away from home. So that kind of forces you out of your shell. Also, being a child of a narcissist, you're codependent because your behavior depends on their behavior. Every day you will look to see what kind of mood they're in. You study their mannerisms, you study their mood, you study their habits to know how you're supposed to move, because you don't want to get in trouble, or you don't want to get beat, or whatever might be happening to you because of the narcissistic abuse. You will gauge their behavior and you will act accordingly to keep everything copacetic, because you don't want to deal with what's happened in the past. So you try to learn what to do and what not to do. So a lot of times when someone is abused, especially in childhood, they will stop growing emotionally at that age. Everything else continues to grow, but emotionally, they will their growth will halt. And a lot of times they try to hold on to that. And I'll show you in my house, there is tons of trains. Now people have a hobby of collecting trains. This is a little obsessive, and there's been a lot of money put into this, especially in this house. Everything in here is covered with trains. I mean, everything. It's all over. And I believe that when my uncle was abused, that it happened around the age that he was really into trains. And so his emotional state has kind of ended there. And just to give you another little snippet on the dark things that I live around is, here is, see if you can see it, there is the trap where he traps animals. And I called him out on this. He said, oh, I'd take them to a park and let them go. But I know that's not true. They've stolen my hairbrush to get my hair. They try to get my sanitary products. They've intentionally clogged up the toilet so that I wouldn't flush anything anymore because they want to get a hold of my blood, which is really, really creepy. It's kept dark in here. This is another sign of a demonic attachment. Dark. There's spiders. He welcomes spiders here. He doesn't want me to get rid of the spiders. He calls them his friends. So every chance I get, I open all the blinds. I let all the light in. I clean to move the energy around, to welcome new things. When he started realizing that I was catching on to the things being shredded, he tried to start burning everything. So he's burned a lot of evidence. And we have a fire pit that used to sit here where normal fire pits would be, where people congregate. But it's been moved all the way out into the yard, and he will sometimes come out for hours and burn things here. And when he clogged up the toilet intentionally so that I wouldn't flush anything, he told me that he broke both plungers. But he didn't break the plungers, but to get rid of the plungers so that I couldn't talk about how we could just fix the problem by plunging, he came out here and burnt the plungers. And the plungers haven't been replaced because he doesn't want me to fix that problem. But I've tried to warn these people many times how everything that's in the dark will come to the light. And not only have I warned them, but God has warned them. A big limb fell off of this tree and hit the house during a storm, and it broke up the deck pretty bad. It ruined his grill, which was a big way that him and his girlfriend would come over here and try to bully me, as they would do yard work and grill every week. And then that's when the attack would come, and they would always pick the time when my son wasn't home so that I would be alone, and it wouldn't affect him, or I wouldn't have a witness to it. It did stop for a while after she was getting in my face, demanding to know why I didn't like her, because I pulled her card. I told her that she drinks too much and that it wasn't healthy, and I didn't want that around me or my son. So that's when she started getting in my face, demanding to know why I didn't like her, even though that was reason enough. And it stopped for a while, but then now that the energy has shifted and I know things aren't going their way, Saturday, she was back at it again. Over here, Carrie, trying to get my attention, and I keep my headphones in all the time. I stay in my own lane. I don't bother them. I don't ever react to them. And so they will try and make me react by jumping in my face. So she followed me around while I was trying to work. Here's some of my cake workspace. So she was following me around as I was trying to finish cakes for Saturday, which is why some of them didn't look as good as most of them usually do. This is also where the tree came into the house, and it still hasn't been fixed, but yeah, they try to stop me from doing my work when they can't infiltrate and keep people from ordering. They will try and stop me and slow me down and make it to where I can't complete my orders. But I also just wanted to show everybody how um, there was a complaint last weekend online about a piece of paper being put on a cake. And I do edible images. I have an edible printer who has separate ink just for these images. It's never had regular ink put in it. This is completely edible paper. I do a lot of edible images. Some of them are backed with fondant and some of them are not. And I did not have time to back the one this past weekend with fondant, and that was an issue. Somebody demanded a refund because of that, trying to slam me again. And again, I don't react, but I would never just put a piece of paper on a cake. What else was I going to say today? The main thing is to cleanse your energy. Keep yourself in positive spirits. Don't sleep all day. A lot of times I won't feel like getting out of bed if one of these attacks has um, really tried to break me down. You have to get up. Make yourself a new schedule. Get up early in the morning. Take yourself a shower. Cleanse that energy off of you. Someone told me once, when filling your own cup up and taking your shower every day, make yourself look good. When you feel good, you're going to do good. You're going to feel confident in your day. Use lotion. That's a small step, and it might seem insignificant, but really, after a shower, putting lotion on yourself, it's just that extra step of care where you're showing yourself that you really matter, and it's important to love yourself, especially when no one else seems to want to. So always love yourself. I love you. I'll be back again later.